Hello everyone. Welcome back to the questions based on jurisprudence. The first question: what is the difference between a formal equality and a substantive equality? Formal equality treats everyone the same, while substantive equality considers historical and social disadvantages to achieve true justice. Which two scholars are most associated with the revival of natural law in the 20th century? Lon L. Fuller and John Finnis. What is Lon Fuller's most famous work? The Morality of Law, published in 1964. What did Lon Fuller argue about the nature of law? That law is not just a set of rules, but must have a connection to morality to be legitimate. Explain the chain novel metaphor in Dawkins' theory. The legal system is like a chain novel where each judge adds to the story, ensuring consistency with the previous decisions and principles. What is Dawkins' interpretive theory of law? Law is an interpretive process where judges construct the law to fit the principles of fairness, justice, and moral coherence. How does Dawkins critique legal positivism? Dawkins rejects the separation of law and morality and argues that law must be understood in relation to moral principles. What is the purpose of civil justice? To resolve private disputes, protect individual rights, and maintain social order. How does civil justice protect rights? By providing legal remedies when personal, property, or contractual rights are violated. What types of disputes does civil justice address? Family matters, contract breaches, property disputes, and tort claims. What legal issues does queer theory address? Same-sex marriage, gender identity, and adoption rights. What is postmodern legal theory's critique of law? It rejects universal legal principles, arguing law is fragmented and contextual. Which theorist is central to postmodern legal thought? Michel Foucault, for his analysis of power and discipline in law. How does Michel Foucault view legal systems? Michel Foucault viewed a legal system as mechanisms of power and social control. How does civil justice help prevent a future harm? By imposing penalties or orders such as injunctions to prevent further violations. What are primary rights in civil justice? Property rights, contractual rights, personal rights, and tort rights. What is an example of a property right? The right to own, use, and dispose of property. What are sanctioning rights in civil justice? Legal mechanisms that impose penalties or corrective actions against the violators. What is compensatory remedy? Financial compensation for losses or harm suffered due to a violation of rights. What happens during a criminal trial? The prosecution presents evidence and calls witnesses to prove the defendant's guilt. What is the potential outcome if a defendant is found guilty in a criminal trial? They may face penalties such as imprisonment, fines, or even the death penalty. What is the main difference in the burden of proof between civil and criminal cases? Civil cases require a preponderance of the evidence, while criminal cases require proof beyond a reasonable doubt. How can civil and criminal cases be interconnected? A person can be criminally charged for an offense, for example assault, and also sued civilly for damages from the same act. What is an example of a case where both the civil and criminal justice systems might be involved? Defamation, where a person may file a criminal defamation suit and a civil suit for compensation. What is injunctive relief? A court order requiring a party to do or refrain from doing a particular act. What is specific performance in civil justice? A court order requiring a party to fulfill contractual obligations as agreed. How does civil justice maintain social order? By resolving disputes peacefully and encouraging adherence to legal norms. What concept did Fuller introduce regarding the morality of law? The inner morality of law. What is the role of the sovereign in legal positivism? The sovereign is the ultimate source of law and authority. What concept in autonomous theories emphasizes internal legal coherence? The principle of normativity and self-containment of law. What is one major difference between natural law and legal positivism? Natural law is based on moral principles, whereas legal positivism is based on authoritative enactment. Which theory asserts that law's validity depends solely on formal enactment and not its morality? Legal positivism. What is the primary function of law in regulating behavior? Law establishes rules of conduct to ensure social order and peace. How does law help in dispute resolution? It provides formal mechanisms like courts and arbitration to settle conflicts fairly. What is authority? Authority refers to the legitimate power or right to give orders, make decisions, and enforce obedience. What are the different theories of authority? Theories of authority include traditional theory, legal rational theory, charismatic theory, and Marxist theory. What is the traditional theory of authority? The traditional theory states that authority is based on established customs, traditions, and long-standing practices. According to the legal rational theory, how is authority derived? Authority is derived from legal norms and institutional rules such as constitutions or laws. What is charismatic authority? Charismatic authority arises from the personal qualities and the leadership abilities of an individual who inspires loyalty and devotion. How does the Marxist theory explain authority? Marxist theory views authority as a reflection of economic structures and primarily exercised by the ruling class to control the working class? What is the main focus of the civil justice system? Resolving disputes and providing compensation or remedies. What is the main focus of the criminal justice system? Punishing and rehabilitating offenders to protect society. What is legal aid? The provision of free or low-cost legal services to individuals who cannot afford a private lawyer. What is the primary objective of legal aid? To ensure access to justice regardless of an individual's economic status. How does legal aid promote fairness? By allowing individuals to have a legal representation, ensuring a fair trial or hearing. What rights does the law protect? Laws protect rights such as freedom of speech, property rights, and personal liberty. What are the 8 principles of Fuller's inner morality of law? Generality, publicity, prospectivity, clarity, non-contradiction, possibility of compliance, constancy, and congruence between official action and the law. Why did Fuller reject legal positivism? Because it separates law from morality, whereas he believed law must meet moral standards. What is Dawkins' stance on hard cases and judicial discretion? Dawkins believed that in hard cases, there is a right answer that can be found through principled interpretation rather than judicial discretion. How does Fuller's idea of inner morality help evaluate legal systems? It sets procedural moral standards that the laws must follow to be legitimate and effective.